Okay, so hi, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, grade 9 students, my cookery students. So, for today's lesson, asynchronous time natin, we are going to have a recorded discussion about the two topics that we have: varieties of ingredients of in use or in use to prepare a dessert, and also um, dessert sauces. Okay, so there are a wide variety of ingredients that may be used in the preparation and cooking of cold and hot desserts. So some of the most common ingredients is we are already familiar with that one. Okay? And when we said the ingredient, sorry. Okay? So ingredient is a general term used to identify any of the foods or substances that are combined to make a dish. On the other hand, it is a substance that forms part of a mixture. Okay, so for example, in cooking, recipes specify which ingredients are used to prepare a specific dish. Many commercial products claim they contain secret ingredients that are better than competing products. Okay, preparing ingredients could be easy if all ingredients needed for a specific recipe are present upon mise en place. Okay, we already know what is the meaning of mise en place. Then some of the most ingredients include the first one is very familiar to everyone is the sugar. Okay, the common element linking virtually all desserts. Okay, the first thing in mind when we discuss or when we say dessert, it is the sugar. Okay, it may be used to sprinkle over fruit, beaten into egg yolks, or for custard, or into whites for a meringue. Many desserts use sugar syrup, which involves boiling sugar and water to the desired temperature. Okay, so we have different types or may mga iba't ibang klase ng mga sugars tayo. First one is the granulated sugar. Okay, it is used in most recipes. The common sugar that we are using at home. Okay, castor sugar is best for meringue and some cakes because it dissolves more easily. It's a bit more refined than the granulated sugar. Okay, and confectioner sugars, like what we discussed last time, or icing sugar is used mostly for dusting the tops of desserts. And brown sugar is commonly used in hot sauces as it produces a lovely rich caramel flavor. Okay, so I have here a picture of the three sugars na binanggit natin kanina. So para lang ma-visualize natin how it is really differentiated physically. Okay, so you can see for the granulated sugar, this one. Okay, the castor sugar or the superfine sugar, it's still a bit alike sa granulated pero more fine and easily dissolve. Okay, and of course, the powdered sugar, yung pinong-pino, okay, or confectioner's sugar. Okay, so next, we have the gelatin. Okay, gelatin is used to set many cold molded desserts. It is basis for jellies and the cheapest, okay, one of the cheapest ingredient natin. Okay, and it's also used to set creams and mousses. Gelatins may be plain or flavored and colored for effect. Okay, you are already familiar with the gelatin. Okay, sa atin, in our term, it is gulaman. Yan. Okay, so upon cooking, pwedeng timplahan, pwede nating matimplahan si gelatin. Okay? So next one, we have the egg yolks. Egg yolks may be mixed with flavorings, sugar and cream or milk to make custard, or they may be whisked together over hot water to create sabayo. Okay, when we said sabayon, it is a French term or for zabagyon, which means is made of beaten egg yolks with the liquid over simmering water until thickened and increase in volume. Okay, take eggs out of the refrigerator prior to use so they are at room temperature. This way they will whisk up better and incorporate more air. Okay, so egg yolks As you can see here in this image, this is what we call sabayon. Okay, beaten egg yolks with liquid over simmering water until thicket. Yan. Okay, most commonly when it comes to creamy, custard. Yeah. Okay. We also have the egg whites. Okay. So egg whites should be fresh and A grade quality. So when we said A grade, it is the freshness, okay? The freshness of your eggs. Kumbaga sa grades natin, yan yung pinakamataas, which is A. Okay, they may be purchased in bulk frozen or you may freeze them in small quantities if you have excess. If egg whites have not been cleanly divided and contain traces of yolks, they will not whip up to satisfactory foam. Okay, a pinch of salt helps the whips or help the whites to whip up better. Okay, so when raw egg whites are beaten, I hope you somehow some of you naka-experience na mag-beat ng egg white to form a foam texture. Okay? So makaka-relate kayo sa dinidiscuss natin. Okay? So when your raw egg whites or when raw egg whites are beaten, rather, sorry, the air is trapped in the mixture in the form of bubbles. So egg whites beaten to soft peaks will support soffles, yung mga mousses, chocolate mousse, while whites beaten to firm peaks are suitable for meringue naman. Okay? I have here, yan, a picture for like what we are discussing earlier, the standard egg grading and egg storage. Okay, did you know that malalaman mo yung freshness ng egg without even cracking it? Okay? Mas matatalakay natin yan or mas matidiscuss natin yan pagdating nyo ng grade 10. But of course, pwede naman na rin nating somehow ipapapyaw yung ganito mga bagay. Okay? So for the freshness of egg, as you can see here, and the image, this is the AA grade. Okay? The highest. Okay, we also have the A grade, the B grade, and the C grade. You can obviously see the difference between these four sa kanyang appearance. Okay, as you can see here in the A grade, visible yung egg white, visible how it holds the form of the egg. Okay, unlike sa B and sa C grade, para na siyang naliliquify. Pag kinrack niyo yung egg at para ng tubig lang yung egg white na bumagsak sa inyong plate. So, medyo hindi na siya ganun ka-fresh. And the best, like what we are discussing, the best egg that na ginagamit when it comes to baking or let's say gagawa ng meringue or gagawa ng foam from the egg white, okay, is yung mga AA or A grade. Okay, yung mga fresh talaga. Okay? Now, I also have here, ayan, okay, beating the egg whites. Pagka-beat ninyo, it will form like that, parang foam texture. So I have a video para at least we have a lot of ideas. Wait for a while. Let me just share my sound. Yan. I can be able to process that now, but I can do right now. Okay, so let us start or let us watch this video. Ay, hindi siya nag-play for a while. Ayan.
Perfectly whipped egg whites are the secret that makes cakes and souffles rise. They make waffles and pancakes light and airy, and when sweetened, make those delicious meringues that we all love. Now, when a recipe calls for soft, firm, or stiff peaks, Do you really know what that means? Well, today I'm going to show you how to whip your egg whites to all three of those stages and what to do if your egg whites turn out overbeaten like this here. So, the very first step, you have to make sure that you have room temperature egg whites. So I have 6 egg whites here and a clean mixing bowl. You want to use either glass, stainless steel, sometimes people use copper, but you want to make sure that it is free of grease or detergent. So a very clean bowl and a whisk attachment. You start at a lower speed. So I'm going to start off at 2 here. And as you whip, you want to increase the speed. And what this does is it creates smaller bubbles instead of giant bubbles that will help in creating a very stable whipped egg white. So I've been on medium-low speed for a little while. You can see that the egg whites, they look a little foamy, sudsy like soap, and this is when you want to increase the speed even more. So we're building those tiny bubbles, but we need a little bit more speed to create even more volume. So my mixer has been running for a few minutes. The egg whites are nice and fluffy. And to check whether or not this is at soft peaks, what you need to do is remove the whisk and you're going to turn it upside down. And what should happen here, exactly what's happening, the peak itself does not hold its shape. It flops over to one side. So this is what you would consider to be soft peaks. Now, if you're making a recipe that calls for adding sugar to your egg whites, this is the point at which you want to gradually add it. Soft peak stage. And then you would continue to beat it until it's stiff and glossy. But I'm going to keep going and I'm going to show you the next stage, which would be firm peaks. So it's been another few minutes. And now what you're looking for is a little bit more structure. And you can really tell here. You see the tip of the peak, it folds over slightly. It doesn't stand straight up. So this is what we would consider to be firm peaks. Now, I'm going to keep mixing and show you the last stage, which would be stiff peaks. So now the final stage, stiff peaks are just that. They stand straight up. A stiff meringue or a stiff egg whites like this would be used for folding into cake batters, hard meringues that you bake into the oven, things like that. Now I'm going to show you overbeaten and what you can do to fix your overbeaten egg whites. So keep mixing. So as you can see, the egg whites are chunky, they're kind of grainy and clumpy and dull in color. So you don't have to start over. There is a little trick in bringing this back, or at least trying to, and that is by adding another egg white. Now make sure your egg white's at room temperature. Just dump it right into the bowl. And then I like to do this by hand. Don't put it back on the machine. Gently mix this together, and you should have beautiful stiff peaks now that you can use.
Okay, so that's how we do the foamy effect for the egg whites. Well, we use that one in different recipes. Pero ang pinaka common or pinaka famous, well-known recipe na ginagamitan yan is of course yung mga icing. Boiled icing for icing ng mga cakes, cupcakes. Ayan. Okay? And also, next one or next ingredient that we use in our desserts is cream. And there's a lot of types na mga iba't ibang klase ng cream. Okay, this ingredient is often used as a decoration or accompaniment for both cold and hot desserts, but may also be used as one of the recipe ingredient. Okay, use a low-fat cream or low-fat cottage cheese instead of heavy cream. This will give you the required calcium without adding calories or without compromising the taste. Okay? In the market, there's a lot of types ng cream. Depende sa pangangailangan mo. Okay? Or depende dun sa recipe na kakailanganin mo. Okay, we have, yeah, like what I mentioned, the heavy cream, the low-fat cream, we have the all-purpose cream, yan, si Nestle, famous sa inyo, meron pa tayong Alaska, yan, okay? So, another one, we have the butter. Butter is different from the butter, which is the butter. Okay, that's another ingredient, that is the fat content. Okay, while this butter, okay, it is a simple mixture of flour and water used to make crepe and pancakes. Okay, are you familiar with crepe? As well as, of course, pancakes. Yeah, let's focus na lang siguro sa pancake. Yung ginagawa nating mixture, that is one of the best example na sinatawag nating butter. Gumagawa rin tayo ng butter pag nagpa-fried tayo ng chicken, okay, with some recipes. Okay, and with other also, let's say, yung in frying, you're going to dip the chicken or let's say a pork in the butter, and then next is the breadcrumb, then you fry it. Okay, butter is also used to coat fruit for fritters. Ayan, maruya, if you are familiar with maruya, kung paano siya lutuin, di ba, that is the banana slice and then dinidip sa butter and then if a fried. Okay, so that is what we call butter. Now, next is, yes, nuts. Nuts are available whole, ground, roasted, or caramelized. They are an important part of dessert cookery as they provide flavor for creams and ice creams. Okay. Walnuts and almonds contain omega-3 fatty acids, which increases cholesterol levels, good cholesterol that boost immunity. So these nuts contain other vitamins like folate and fiber. Okay, different types of nuts, different call for ingredients, so it's up to you. And yes, lastly, we have the chocolates. I sorry. Okay, so the chocolates, it may be melted to easily blend into fillings and butters. Okay, it can also be poured over desserts such as cakes and puddings. So when melted chocolate is cooled, it can be shaped and molded into many attractive decorations. Okay, and chocolate acts as a stimulant and can boost your mood. Dark chocolate has more antioxidants and is known to lower blood pressure. Unsweetened cocoa and chocolate protein powder can also be used. Okay, and once you use chocolate in your dessert, let's say chocolate syrups or kahit yung mga chocolate sprinkles, it will make your dessert more fancy, more sweet in a, and it's on its appearance. Okay, so actually we still have a lot of ingredients na hindi na natin na mention. Okay, so these are just sample of the ingredients na ginagamit natin sa desserts, pero maraming pang iba. Fruits, ayan, hindi ko pala naiisama dito mga fruits, so different kinds of fruits and citruses. Okay, now another learning target that we have is you can identify the variety of sauces for desserts. So kanina we discussed the ingredients. Now let's move on to the sauces of desserts. Again, these are just some of the sample or some of the recipes na ginagamit natin for dessert sauces. Okay? So what is dessert sauces nga ba? Okay, when we say dessert sauces, or the sauce, it is a flavored liquid blend of ingredients that adds flavor and enhances the appearance of the food. Okay, when we said fudge naman, if you are familiar with the term fudge o hot fudge, ayan yung binibili natin sa McDo, yung term na hot fudge. Okay, when we said fudge, it is a soft confection made of butter, sugar, chocolate. Okay, sauces can give an entirely different appearance, flavor, color, and moisture to dessert. Okay, and also for this activity or for this performance task sa dessert, because it is best for a dessert to accompany with dessert sauces also. So this is your opportunity to work on your creativity. Okay, ang dami kasi nating pwedeng gawin sa sauce to plating in terms of plating and garnishing. Okay, sige, we are going to tackle about that in our next discussion. Okay, now, the three basic ingredients in most sauces are, of course, the first, the liquid, yung liquid part or the liquid used to prepare the sauce. Okay, the thickening agent. So later we will discover what are the thickening agents. Okay, yung nagpapalapot. And the last one is the other flavorings and seasonings that na i-add mo sa liquid. Okay, para ma-achieve mo kung ano yung lasa na gusto mo for the sauce. Okay, so liquids and sauces, we have um, three types of liquids na pwede nating gamitin sa sauces natin. So we can use stock. Okay, when we said stocks in food, in culinary terminologies, it is a liquid which meat, fish, bones, or vegetables have been simmered for a long time. Okay, so nagre-release siya ng iba't ibang flavor from that ingredient. Okay, kahit na buto lang, yan, mga buto-buto, or mga scrap from the vegetables na kinat, pwede po. Okay, so yung stock, yun na yung flavored liquid. Okay, next one is, yes, commonly milk. It is a white liquid secreted from animals such as cows, sheep, and goats. You know it already. Okay, and juices or fruit juices, it is a liquid that can be obtained from a fruit. Okay, so what are the thickening agents na ginagamit madalas for the sauces? Kasi di ba when we said sauces and the desserts, malapot yung kanyang consistency. Okay, so thickening agents improve the quality of the sauces. The first one is starch. Okay, when we said starch, it is any kind of flour. Okay, all-purpose flour. Meron pa tayong, ayan, the rice flour, the cornstarch, and ano pa ba? Okay, the cream. Cream, it can be milk. Okay, milk or the all-purpose cream. Ayan. Eggs, of course. Eggs such as what we are using in custard. Ang nakakapagpalapot is eggs. Okay, what else? Grains. Ayan. Under na yan ng starches. Okay, now, the kinds and varieties of sauces. Okay, we have what we call the rich sauce. When we said rich sauce, it's suited to a simple dessert. Rich sauce, in terms of the flavor, malasa, kumbaga, mataas ang flavorings niya, rich sauces. Okay, matapang ang timpla. Ayan. Light sauce naman is suited to a rich dessert. Okay, hot fudge is delightful contrast to cold cornstarch pudding or vanilla ice cream. Okay, hot sauces, of course, from its terms, it is hot and are made just before they are to be used. Okay, so it is best served if it is hot. Okay, cold sauces naman are cooked ahead of time, then cooled, covered, and put in the refrigerator to chill. Okay, so it can be, it can be custard, fruit puree, syrup. So it really depends on the recipe na gagawin ninyo. Okay, so we have these three kinds of sauces. Okay, common kind of sauces na pwede lang laruin into different flavors. Okay, so the first one, we have the custard sauce. Okay, it is a sauce made with egg yolks and kaya guys, sinabi natin kanina, sugar and milk. Okay, or cream flavored with vanilla. Okay, one example of this is vanilla custard sauce, also known as creme ingles. Okay, creme ingles, if you are familiar with that, mamaya I will show you a video. This is best for bread pudding. Okay, bread pudding, fresh fruit, and pound cakes. So I have here another video demonstrating how to create
Today on
how to
Making
make creme
Savvy, we'll
ingles.
be making the base recipe for crème
crème
anglaise,
anglaise.
which is French for English cream. It is a mix of sugar, egg yolks, and hot milk, often flavored with vanilla. The ingredients list can be found on the website bakingsavvy.com. The cream is made by whipping egg yolks and sugar together until the mixture is light in color. To do this, we whisk the eggs and sugar together to incorporate air into the mixture. Then, we simmer the milk until it starts to wisp on top. Wisping is a culinary term for a buildup of light steam. Once the milk starts to wisp, we slowly pour it over the eggs and sugar mixture. This process is called tempering. Tempering is to gently heat egg yolks before adding to a hot sauce by adding about a spoonful of the hot sauce and beating well with a wire whisk. Pour the hot milk slowly, but whisk quickly, so you don't curdle the mixture by cooking the eggs. Place the mixture over a bain-marie, also known as a double boiler. This will allow us to gently cook the mixture to a moderate temperature without cooking the eggs. Eggs cook at 180 degrees, so be sure to keep the temperature below that. Constantly stir the mixture with a wooden spoon. After several minutes, you will see that the mixture starts to thicken a little bit. One way to tell when your sauce is ready is with a thermometer. If it has reached temperature between 150 and 175 degrees, then the sauce is done. Another way to test for doneness is through nappe. Take the wooden spoon and immerse it into the sauce. With the back of the spoon facing you, run your index finger across the spoon. If you end up with a clean line across, your sauce is ready. Once the mixture has fully cooked, quickly submerge it into a bowl of cold water to stop the cooking process. When the mixture has cooled, add the vanilla. Strain the sauce through a sieve and transfer to another bowl. And there you have it, another base recipe to help you build on creating delicious desserts.
Okay, so I hope you enjoy watching how we work on or how we make a custard sauce. Okay, which is cremingless, okay, the vanilla custard sauce. Medyo maraming process, pero actually pag you put that one into practice or lagi mo na rin naman ng ginagawa, madali lang siya totally. Kahit hindi nyo na kailanganin yung the food thermometer. Okay, the consistency is malalaman nyo naman if yung consistency if is enough na. Okay, sige. Let's proceed to the next one, which is the fruit puree. It is a fruit. Okay, it is a fruit that is cooked, ground, pressed, blended, or sieved until it reaches the consistency of creamy paste or liquid. Okay, a variant of fruit puree is orange sauce that is made up of ingredients such as orange, sugar, and water, which is yun lang naman ang common ingredients when we said puree. Okay, yung specific fruit na gagamitin, the sugar and the water, and then commonly it is blended. Okay, pwedeng ground, whatsoever. Okay, so I have here another video.
Hey guys, it's Gretchen here from Gretchen's Bakery, back with another quick how-to about strawberry puree. Well, I should rephrase that to say any fruit puree, since you can apply this method to just about any fruit or berry. There are so many things we can do with fruit purees, from simple sauces to go on top of ice cream or plate garnishes to cocktails and smoothies. But today I'm making this puree specifically to go into my strawberry chiffon cake recipe. You will not want to miss that. But for now, let's get to making the simple strawberry puree. Pretty much all you have to do is get your strawberries cooking down over a low heat. Add a bit of sugar and let them break down slowly. Now, many of you may be wondering, why cook them at all? Can't I just put them in a blender? Well, sure you can, and that method is fine for some of the applications I mentioned earlier, but when we're using purees for cake recipes, I prefer to use the slow cook method. Not only does it render down the fibers in the fruit more effectively, but it also evaporates out some of that excess unwanted liquid while concentrating the strawberry flavor more intensely. There is no recipe here, since the fruit itself will determine how much sugar to add, if you even want any sugar at all. I like to add just a couple tablespoons to start the rendering process, and then later when I use this puree in a recipe, it is at that point that I will adjust the recipe with sugar. It shouldn't take more than 30 minutes on low to medium heat to break down the fruits, and then I either leave them as a compote or I'll take a stick hand blender to the whole lot of them and blend away to a puree. Fruit purees can be stored in the refrigerator for up to 1 week or frozen for months.
Okay, so that's for our fruit puree. Actually, marami rin namang iba't ibang klase ng recipe sa puree. And madali lang ang paggawa ng puree. Okay, now the last one is syrup. Okay, let's go with the last one. It is a liquid form, or it is also referred as sugar syrup. Okay, it's a liquefied form of sugar that is commonly used to sweeten cocktails, iced tea, and other cold drinks. So a dessert syrup is a flavored sugar syrup used to flavor and moisten cakes and other desserts. So an example of common dessert syrup is chocolate syrup, okay, which is sweet chocolate flavored condiment, and it is used as toppings or dessert sauce for different desserts such as in ice cream, cake, mousse, or chocolate mousse, and in puddings. Okay, so I have here a video also how simple it is to create or to make a chocolate syrup. Mm, you don't like to play? Okay, for a while. Okay. It freezed. Ayan. What's happening? Okay, so going back, this is a video showing us how to make a chocolate syrup, a simple chocolate syrup. Ayun. hope you enjoy this video. Okay, so let's pause on that already. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that video and you got some idea how you're going to create a chocolate syrup. But aside from that, that recipe kasi is, ang ginamit is a cocoa powder. Okay, well, pwede naman kayong gumamit ng mga chocolate bars. Okay, you will going to melt that one. Well, we call that chocolate ganache. Okay, pwede rin naman yung ganong method. Okay, or if you want to create a hot fudge type of syrup. So it is a chocolate bar and then put in a double boiler or brain marie, and then you put the chocolate bar as well as a little bit of milk and a butter. Okay, then you start melting them together, and then that will be your chocolate ganache. Okay, now I hope you learned a lot today. Thank you so much for listening, and please watch until the end, hopefully, because this will be included to your quiz. Okay, thank you so much, grade 9, and goodbye.